Hey everybody, welcome to the channel. My name is Jordan. Thank you so much for watching today. Today we're going to talk about 5 alternatives to the Fender Acoustasonic. So, those came out a few years ago and they have pretty much taken the market for hybrid guitars. The Taylor T5 and the PRS Se hollow body piezo are still completely relevant in this realm of hybrid guitars, but I would definitely say that the Acoustasonic is probably the most popular and probably the best. And that's just because of its functions. It has an electric pickup, so a magnetic pickup, and then a piezo pickup underneath the saddle, as well as a body sensor underneath the top that you can't see. And between the 5-way switch and the blend knob, they just have tons of tonal possibilities. And I really like the one I played. I wish I could have bought it that day, but it was too expensive, which is the biggest problem with the Acoustasonic is that, you know, for a guy that can maybe every few months spend like $500 or $600 on something fun, and it can't always be a guitar, it's gonna take you a couple years to save up for this. And that is what I wanted to remedy with this video. First of all though, why would you want a hybrid guitar? So for the singer-songwriter, it really makes sense. And for live performances at smaller gigs, it definitely makes sense because you can swap back and forth so easily from electric to acoustic. You don't have to constantly be swapping guitars depending on what your set list is that you've got to do. And if you just have one part that you need an acoustic guitar for, or one part that you need a lead guitar sound for, that's what hybrids are great for, is, you know, just those little bit of crossover here and there. What makes the Acoustasonic really cool is that it actually does both really well. So you could actually use it as your electric guitar and you could actually use it as your acoustic guitar. Most of the ones on this list just do one or the other pretty well, and the other they just kind of do okay. And that's based on mostly construction instead of experience. So I'm just gonna give you the information and you can decide what you wanna do with it. Now, right before I give you the list, go grab a cup of coffee or tea or something like that, and please hit the subscribe button. Please give me a thumbs up, give me a like, and that would help my channel out a lot. And if there's anything I'm missing from this list, leave it in the comments below and I might make a second video that will give you a few other options for hybrid guitars. Number 1 on this list, Michael Kelly. Michael Kelly guitars make quite a few different models. They make a Patriot, which is actually like a Les Paul style. They used to make a, I think it was called the Valor, which was like a PRS. They make some Telecaster and some Strat style guitars. And one of these, the Hybrid 55, is actually a Telecaster style guitar. The Hybrid Special is a little bit more along the lines of like a Les Paul or something like that. With a 24 3/4 inch scale length, the Michael Kelly Hybrid Special has 2 humbuckers and a piezo underneath the saddle. It is a chambered body, 3-on-3 on the headstock, and spalted maple finish, as well as Zeracate or whatever that is. The Hybrid 55 also has 2 humbuckers and piezo transducers underneath the saddle of each string. And that's kind of cool. That's a Fishman setup. So I believe you can actually buy these online if you find them. Like you can buy a bridge plate that has the piezo system built into it. And that's a Fishman thing. So they're pretty expensive. But these are a really cool looking guitar. I've never played one of the 55s, but I have played the Special. And I wasn't super impressed with the tones from the split coils. However, they do look really cool. And you could swap out the pickups if you wanted something a little better on the electric side, and I'm sure you could find a way to make the acoustic side of it sound better with a different preamp or something like that. The last thing to mention is that they retail for about $800, something like that, and with the finishes that you're getting and the quality you're getting, I would say that's right on the edge of what they're worth. If you can find one used, you can generally get them for like $650, $600, something like that. But these are a decent option if you can find a good amp and a good preamp to run them through to get good acoustic tones. Number 2 on this list, the Godin A6 Ultra. These are really cool. They look like a Telecaster, not Telecaster, with a piezo underneath the saddle and a humbucker in the neck position, I almost said bridge position, humbucker in the neck position, and I don't quite understand the switching, but they look like a really comfortable, really fun guitar to play. They are chamber body, so I think that means there's probably a center block or only a couple of hollow points in the actual guitar, but I'm not 100% sure. Probably I know the least about these than any other guitar on this list, but I would really like to try one. They retail for about $9.95, so decent price, and then used you can find them about $600. So I would imagine if you can get decent sounds out of the piezo pickup, that the humbucker is probably a fairly good quality one, and if not, you could swap it out pretty easy. But if you can get good acoustic sounds out of this, whether through a different preamp or a different amplifier like I mentioned before, I definitely think this would be a good option for somebody that wants something that can do both of those jobs pretty well for the money. So number 3 is the Schecter C1EA. And these are cool guitars. Daryl Braun did a YouTube review on them a few months ago, and I watched it and I thought these were really cool guitars, so I looked them up. They retail for about $950, so just under that $1,000 mark again, and they don't come down too much. So they'll probably come down to like that $800 or $700 on the used market. But for what you're getting, 2 humbuckers and that classic Schecter body style, which is really cool. Once again, piezo in the saddle, which is more like a Les Paul style saddle, which is kind of cool. I think it's the Fishman Power Bridge is what I wrote down in my notes. So 25.5-inch scale length. So obviously if you play electric guitar primarily, this is definitely going to be a little more comfortable for you than buying an acoustic to start with. Number 4 on this list, and this has been a killer guitar, just sweeping the market as we know it for hybrid guitars. This is the PRS Se Hollow Body 2 Piezo. Now, Worship Tutorials, which is one of my favorite YouTube channels, as well as Daryl Braun, both have played these on their channels, and Daryl Braun did a full review of it. The Worship Tutorials, I think they played around with it a little bit and showed off the piezo system and stuff like that. I can't remember if they did a full in-depth review or not, but these have definitely got good reviews online. So they are fully hollow body, which is gonna give you probably a better acoustic sound just because of the nature of acoustic guitars. It all hinges on the fact that the top needs to be able to vibrate. So this hollow body style is going to be a lot more acoustic sounding, unplugged and hopefully plugged in just because of construction. Now the finishes on these things look awesome. 2 humbuckers and then once again piezo underneath the saddle, and yeah, they're just really cool. They retail for about $1549, so about $1550 again. And on the used market, I don't even know if people have started selling these yet, used, because they've only been out for such a short time, but I would imagine they will hold their value really well. So as far as an investment goes, if you buy it and decide you don't like it, you're probably not gonna lose a lot of money on it, but you're probably not gonna be able to find one for used very cheap. So that is one of the setbacks to this one and the next guitar on the list. Now the last one on this list is the biggest competitor to the Acoustasonic. And the great thing about the Taylor T5 is that it's been around for a long time. Everybody knows Taylor guitars. They are good quality. The problem is they have really bad feedback into different amplifiers, into a little bit bigger, higher gain amplifiers. You're not gonna be able to do as much with them. They do have 3 pickups. They have a body sensor underneath. They have a bridge pickup, which is a humbucker, even though it looks like a single coil. And then they have a neck pickup. So those are both magnetic pickups giving you that electric tone. And you can also have them in parallel or series, which is really cool. And they come in a ton of different finishes. Koa, they come in natural, mahogany, and with flame maple tops, and just tons of different options to choose from. And the cool thing about them is that you can get them used pretty commonly in that $1,200 to $1,300 range, and sometimes I've seen them as low as $800. When brand new, I think they retail for like somewhere $1,600 to $1,800. And the more expensive models with like flame maple and koa on them are up in that $2,000 range. So definitely a good idea if you're gonna buy one used. What I like about them is that they are more acoustic in construction than a lot of the other ones on this list. A lot of the other guitars on this list are They're essentially electric guitars, but they decided to put a piezo pickup in them, which really isn't the best option for tone. These are gonna get you a lot better acoustic tone because they're made for it. They are constructed that way. That is just how they're supposed to be. And so adding the electric pickups makes them more versatile, but once again, you're probably only gonna use these at small gigs just because of the level of feedback you're gonna get from the guitar itself. That's it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you guys would like to see a part 2 of this video, please leave it in the comments below. I might do it anyways just because there are more hybrid guitars that I could definitely have mentioned, but today 5 I think was plenty. And these, I believe, are the best options on the market right now for electric acoustics. And if you guys have not already subscribed to the channel, please do so. That would help me out a lot in growing the channel. And please give this video a thumbs up. Please leave a comment down below. That would also help me out. And I love interacting with people, so please leave your favorite hybrid down below in the comments. Might be something from this video, might be something I've never heard about, and I could include it in my next edition of this series, Hybrid Guitars. So with that, thank you guys so much. Have a great day. We'll see you next time.